Hello, I'm meteorologist Ryan Leach, and this is the planning briefing for Sunday, March 27th. Quick look at our weather threat matrix. It's actually getting pretty quiet out there in terms of winter weather and road impacts. We have a bit of a system that's going to be coming through on Tuesday that we're expecting some pretty low impact minor snow accumulations with. And then a bit of a stronger, colder system coming through again on Thursday that will mainly affect snow at the passes. And other than that, it looks pretty clear. So we'll go ahead and dive right into our first system for Tuesday. On the left, we have a low end chance for snow amounts. And as you can see, there's actually very little snow across the area. I wouldn't expect the overall or the entire system to look like this, but for any given spot on that map, that's sort of a minimal snow amount. So you can see on the very low end, we're looking at the potential for no snow in most places except for up in the mountains where there still is snow and it hasn't melted off. On the right, we have a high-end snow amount, and we can see that that does cover a lot more area, but still, for most of the area in the valleys and whatnot that are covered, it's less than an inch down to a trace. But again, up in the mountains, we do see some higher amounts up to around that 4-inch amount. With that, we expect those higher amounts to be sort of kept in a very small area, so pretty minimal impacts on most of our main roads, most of our main highways. But if you're going to be getting out into the backcountry to catch some spring skiing or something like that, you might have some fresh snow to look for pretty high up in the mountains. So speaking of the impacts on the roads in the area, you may have noticed on that previous map that more towards the eastern portions of our forecast area, closer to the Continental Divide, we had the better chances of snow and more snow. So this is for Georgetown Lake, not exactly a mountain or mountain pass, but certainly one of our higher elevation locations. And we're looking at roughly an inch coming, most of that coming Tuesday morning, and then another shot for some snow coming in again on Thursday. And with that, you'll see that the temperatures down the bottom when it's snowing are pretty close to freezing. So, if we get a shower that comes through, those temperatures will drop down for a little bit, down to around freezing, and then as that shower moves out, they'll come back up. So we expect most of that snow to melt pretty quick, especially on road surfaces. With the recent warm weather, the ground has soaked up quite a bit of heat and should be able to melt most of that snow. So moving to Lost Trail Pass, a similar situation. We've got the temperatures are going to be hovering down right around that freezing mark when we have snow. So expect those temperatures to drop down during a snow shower. Maybe pick up a little bit of accumulating snow. And then once that shower is done, temperatures should pop right back up, melt off some of that snow, end up with some slush like that again. Pretty minimal impacts. Again, though, this is 7,000 feet. It's a bit higher elevation, so expecting a little bit of a longer duration event up there. And again, most of that is going to be focused on Tuesday morning and then lingering into Tuesday afternoon. In Williams Creek Summit, this is an area that many of you may not be familiar with, but it is down in Lemhi County in Idaho, so we would be pretty far south of Lost Trail Pass at this point, heading sort of into a remote valley back there. But this is kind of going to be typical for some of the folks who live in the backcountry or who live maybe a little bit off the beaten path, but they still have to drive over some high mountains to get there. So that area, looking at about 2 inches of snow right up there on that Williams Creek Summit. But down on either side of that, it should be much less. And again, this is going to be in north central Lemhi County. So jumping ahead, this is a graphic kind of depicting the snow cover, the total snow cover for the second wave, the colder one. This isn't really a high or a low end. This is just kind of an expected snow amount. So you can see very little, less than an inch accumulation expected in valleys, if anything at all. Again, we're looking for most of that snow to be focused in southern Lemhi County. Let's see if I can get a pointer here. All right, so this is that Lemhi County area that I was talking about on the previous slide, and Williams Summit is somewhere in this area. So as we head into the south, the southern portions of Lemhi County, you can see, we're getting into, around the 3 inches of snow. This is a little bit on the high side, but not the highest amount that we could get. But yes, about 3 inches of snow down there again, and then focusing most of the snow amounts along the Continental Divide, and snow amounts especially in Montana and central Idaho dropping off pretty quick as you head down into the valleys and off of those mountain passes. So again, pretty minimal impacts, very typical weather for this time of year. Long-term outlook, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. So this would be really for that roughly the first week of April. Looking at above normal temperatures are the most likely situation, and near normal to slightly above normal precipitation. So again, from a road weather perspective or a travel perspective, that bodes well for minimal impacts as we head into April. And with all this talk of spring and very minimal winter impacts, we'll be transitioning our focus for these briefings to the prescribed fire season in April. But if we do see any major spring winter weather events coming in, we'll reach out. So it's not unheard of for us to have some pretty significant snows that last a couple of days in April or even into May. So if we see anything like that, we'll reach out to our roads partners. But if you watch these videos, it'll also be addressed there. But the main topics, or I guess the main focus of these videos will be starting to shift now into some of that fire and burning season. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 406-329-4841. Thank you.